Welcome back, everybody, to the Wild Faith Podcast. My name is Evan Spungum. I have my co-host Luke Timmons with me today. We are in episode 14, and we are talking about off-season training today. An exciting one. Luke, how we doing?
We're doing good.
Love to hear it.
Yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend, so
that's right.
It'll be kind of the kickoff to summer.
It's crazy that we're here.
Yeah.
You know, I look back at, for both you and I, we started this journey back in March, and I look at back in March where we were just having conversations about turkey hunting and getting that all started, and here we are now, and we're past turkey hunting and we're in the Memorial Day.
Yeah, goes quick. Summer will go even quicker, I'm sure.
Oh no, for sure, and it's been a fun spring, but I can honestly say I'm ready for summer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. And then with all the rain recently, it's kind of like, all right, yeah, let's just roll right into summer, get some nice weather.
Well, you guys have got a doozy for the weather situation, especially the last like 3-4 days. You guys have got absolutely just hammered with bad weather.
Yeah, it's been kind of a little bit of everything: rain, wind, couple tornadoes, which is kind of crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah, so nothing too serious. I don't think anyone's been too much as far as, people go, as too injured or anything like that. Mostly just structural damage or trees, but yeah, so it's fun. Hopefully, we were kind of kicking around ideas for this weekend a couple days ago, and we're like, well, it's gonna rain all weekend. Let's figure something to do so we're not just sitting inside all weekend. And we're like, well, let's go to Duluth. So we're heading up to the North Shore, and
love it.
We'll be up there. I think we're gonna leave tomorrow morning early, because by the time we get done with work today, and
love it. Yeah, Duluth is that's, man, like I tell you what, this last fall was the first time ever, I guess, I've been farther north than Duluth and went up to Grand Portage, and it was wow. Breathtaking is about the only words that I didn't know there was parts of Minnesota that looked like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, you think once you're in Duluth that like Two Harbors and Grand Marais and Grand Portage are close, but it's still another few couple more hours. So it's a long drive, but it's only like 3.5 hours for us, so it's pretty quick.
Well,
we'll leave.
That's not too bad.
Early. Yeah, we'll leave probably.
It's only 3.5 hours for you guys.
Yeah.
Wow, that seems.
I think.
No way.
Maybe I'm off.
I was gonna say it's probably 2.5. It's almost 3 hours for me.
I'm gonna pull up my old
MapQuest here. Trusty MapQuest. Oh man, MapQuest. Print them off.
Remember? Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, 3.5 hours. But it's just basically it's 35 the whole way. So
I suppose. Wow, that's crazy.
Because you guys are kind of like no. Yeah. I don't know how it works, but
we're more central, so probably explains why.
Yeah.
So, well, maybe there we go. That's a central location meeting place. We'll have to go to Bowfest now.
Yeah. Sign me up. It's fun. We did that. We did that a few years ago. It was a good time. I still remember Noah, like, very being dumb, just straight up, and he would admit to it. But like, he shows up and his like D loop is like hanging on by a thread. He's like, "Yeah, I should be good." I'm like,
but we got a couple thousand arrows.
Yeah, you're about to shoot like 200 arrows in a day, man. Like. But anyways, we got going. Beautiful morning. You ride the ski lift up to the course, which is cool. And we get going, and we're like maybe 3-4 targets in, and he's pulling back. Like I think it was like on a zebra or some crazy thing, and just pulled right through his D loop. Luckily, we went back down, and there was a archery shop that was set up. I think it was. What's the big one? It was archery. No, it was Lancaster. Lancaster was there.
Sure. Gotcha.
Yep. So they were there, and they strung his D loop up, and we were quick tire change and on the way. So
nice.
But it was good.
We've talked about it for 2 years now, and I just haven't done it yet. But I'd love to go do it with either probably my compound, but it would be fun to rip the trad bow, but I would have to probably buy an extra dozen arrows just in
Oh,
case.
yeah. Well, and they have, 3, 4 different ranges for you to shoot at, and I think the front run is the for trad bow because yeah, I don't know if you'd want to
Oh,
be
cool.
ripping 95 yard
Well,
shots with a
hey,
trad bow, but
I did though when we went to the Byron at the Sportsman and
yeah,
at the
yep,
Rochester. Yep.
yep.
So sweet.
But
Well,
yeah, I mean,
this is
kind of
the
going
yeah.
off of right off of that. I mean, it's kind of talking about the importance of training in the off season, and that's where like things like Bow Fest or TAC or Mountain Archery Fest is are all big things because it keeps your skills tuned up. After turkey season, if you're rocking the bow or if you're still haven't been rocking the bow since last fall, then it's a good time to dust that off and get going. And that's kind of what I guess this episode's about. It's a little bit about staying active with shooting, whether it's your bow or your gun, even too, your rifles, and
Hmm.
and then also your body, which I think is probably the most important of the two.
Oh no, I couldn't agree more with that. And it's like one of those things where when you're actively trying to get better in the woods. I'm there's a lot of people out there too that are just complacent with where they're at. But for these
Mm-hmm.
guys, for people like us, and for other people out there that want to kill bigger deer or want to kill bigger turkeys or whatever it is, they just want to get better at their craft. Time put in the off season is where it's at. It's just like anything in life. You get what you put in, and these extra days and months that we have leading up to the season of putting in that work and that repetition is only going to make things easier for both you and I and for whoever else is doing it come season.
No, absolutely, yeah. It's tough, especially when you start mixing in kids and a couple of kids and busy summer. It's like where do you fit it in? It's just like how do you fit in sometimes hunting, but I think for me, like the big part, especially just well, I can't say just because it's both, but for just shooting my bow is so therapeutic because it's kind of like I like doing it. I like going out with guys and hanging out and having a good time shooting some of the courses. But I
Mm-hmm.
think big part of like my own like even therapy with it is just by yourself at the range, mentally having to focus in on each and every single arrow, like just that repetition, and you kind of just it's like working out, and that's what I was saying. I can't say it's one or the other because it's both. It's like, and my wife will 100% attest to this. If I don't work out, or if she can like tell that I haven't worked out as much, because I'm usually at least 4 times, if not 5 or 6 times a week. But if I don't hit that 4 mark, I am
Mm-hmm.
a tangled ball of stress and just energy. Like where she's like, you just need to go for it. Like yesterday, I got busy with work, and then it was like the day just got away from me. I'm like, I'm gonna go run quick because I can, you know,
Yeah,
quick. I mean, it was, you know, 4 miles or whatever, but it, then it's like you get back and you're like, bah, I'm good.
feel better. No,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more with that. And for me, it's been hard for the last month. I haven't been able to work out with my arm,
Mm,
and I was on a really good routine for about a year and a half there. I'm sure I missed a couple of days in between there, but I'm getting back into that routine of doing, 4 or 5 days a week.
yep.
And I can attest to that completely because for me, it's the same way of where like I've been a mess for this last month. And it's just like you can't describe it to people because you have like this pent up, I don't not energy, but just like this pent up like
Well, I think
release
it's
of
probably energy.
stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, I just started. Was it last Monday? Was the first day I got back into the gym, and
Mm-hmm.
felt really good. But
Good.
kind of going off of that, and just going into we'll probably break this down in some different segments here. But when it comes to shooting, do you have like a specific regiment that you try to do, from transition of seasons, obviously going through, we just got done with turkey now, going
Mm-hmm.
into summer, coming into the fall, like, do you have a regimen of what you do? Like, will do you wake up and shoot a bunch of arrows? Do you go in the evenings? Like, what's your process with that?
I mean, it used to be like pre-kid era. It was, yeah. I mean, it was probably a lot more regimented. Now it's you kind of get it in when you can. So
Sure.
if I'm working from home and I got, can quick run out to the club for 30 minutes at my lunch, I can quick go do that, or, get up early in the morning and shoot 10, 20 arrows off my
Hmm.
backpack, and which is fine. I think, that is easy because like I said, I could just step out of my backpack, rip off 10, 20 arrows in the backyard. But tough part with that is, you're limited because of living in town
Yeah.
of how far you can shoot. So I like to get out to the club and probably get, you know, each time I go out, I don't, there's no set number. It's kind of like how I'm feeling, what's feeling good, how much I want to push it. You can tell, especially when you do it a lot, like, all right, I got 20 arrows in me, or I got 40 arrows, whatever
Hmm.
that is. Cause you don't want to get to the point of shooting where your last 10 arrows, you're just gassed and you're just, flinging
Agreed.
arrows all over the place. You want to, I mean, at least for me, I like to get to that point where I can feel it and then be like, okay, I'm going to sling one more at whatever yards and put it on a pie plate, and then that's where I think sometimes I used to get into the habit of pushing it, and then it kind of your form starts to slip. You're not, your anchor points getting off, and it's just kind of a mess. And then that just it's like anything. It's like training dogs. It's like
Yeah.
getting off like your workout schedule. It's like you just start forming bad habits, and then those. It seems like bad habits are easier to pick up than the good ones.
Oh,
It usually
most
takes
definitely.
if you're off working out for a while, it's going to take, at least for me, it's going to take me a good 2, 3 weeks to just get back into it, get back into that, you know, where it's just,
Yep.
this is the task list. This is what the prescription is. And that's what I got to do. But, no, I mean, for shooting, I just try and get it in when I can. And I like pushing my distance. I've, in my eyes and probably a lot of other people's, it's like if you just sit there and shoot 20 yards, 30 yards,
Hmm.
and then 40 yards, yeah, that's about what you're, I mean, at least around here, that's about max distance for shooting out a tree stand, obviously. But, like we're pushing out to go chase some muleys this fall in South Dakota again. So, I mean, 70, 80 yards, that's not, a lot of people might
Yeah.
scoff at that, but that's definitely killable if you're, but it's like anything, like, somebody who goes out 2 weeks before season and dusts their bow off, yeah, they're going to be like, oh, you can't shoot out to 70 yards. Well,
Yeah.
if you shot, that's where I'm getting at. Is like if I consistently am shooting at like 60, 70 yards at the range, wow, when that deer comes through for when I'm sitting at a tree stand at 30 yards, that's nothing. That's, it could
Yep.
almost do it with your eyes closed, but that's where it's like you got to challenge yourself. And I think that kind of goes into a lot of this, what we're talking about today is do hard things where, yeah, it's going to suck. Like I did not want to run yesterday at all. And I think I think I stare at my shoes longer than I probably need to, or like like I'm weird. Like I'll like look at my Spotify playlist and like I know which one I'm gonna pick. It's always my running
Yeah.
playlist, but I'm just gonna like put it off until it's like, okay, I gotta just do it, and then you do
Yep.
it and you're good, and then you just keep doing it. I mean, that's you just keep challenge yourself, because then when it comes time to draw back on a 160-inch whitetail or a 180-inch muley, whatever it is, you're locked in. There's no
Yep.
fretting. There's no, oh boy, like here we go, and you're shaking like a, you know, first time being out in a tree stand as a kid. So it's all part of it, I think, and you just got to keep pushing yourself and seeing what else you can do or what else you can try and do, I guess.
Oh, that's really
It's
good.
a really really long answer,
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, you hit it all that I could think of. I look at it myself where, for me, I'm lucky enough to have, a pretty decently sized backyard. I can take it
yeah.
back out to about 85 yards if I want to, and I can just go shoot at my back door whenever I want. And kind of going with that, my process, I'll try to mix it up, from a perspective of shooting my trad bow and shooting my
Mhm.
my compound. I always like to do both. I don't know. I'm kind of weird. It depends on like what style of hunting I'm going to be doing.
Right.
If I'm going to be on the ground, or if I know I'm going to be limited like the 15 or 20 yards, I might bring my trad bow rather than bring my recurve, or if it's late season or whatever it is. So I try to stay
Yep.
in tune with shooting with both those. But it's kind of funny. You said something I think that resonates with a lot of people, and you said that it's easy. to pick up mistakes
Mm,
rather than picking up good habits, because I look at it like I've compared it before too, but it's like I look at bow hunting or shooting, the art of shooting is similar to golf, where, I could be sitting out at a range hitting golf balls and I'm just not feeling it today. And I just keep hitting golf balls and hitting golf balls and hitting
right.
golf balls. And I'm just making that mistake that I'm doing worse and
Yep.
re-emphasizing like that bad behavior. And it's the same thing when you're shooting your bow. You could be winded or fatigued, or you could be, you're jumping the string or whatever it is, and you just keep re-emphasizing that bad habit. And it might be a time where you just need to step off and just take a break, or
Mm-hmm.
catch yourself and come back in 20 minutes and shoot again. But I do
Yep.
think there is something to, and you said it a little bit too, of where I practice this once it gets a little bit closer to the crunch time for like, especially for like Western hunts, is practicing those stress shots of where I
Mm-hmm.
might I might go run, where we live here, we've got a cul-de-sac that's about a 16th of a mile. I might go run a loop, come back, shoot 5 arrows, and I might be,
Yep.
fairly, I shouldn't say fairly winded, but I might be a little winded to where like I have that stress factor of like, okay, I need to execute this shot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's something to that too, but
Yeah.
that's more of a long, like advanced training, I would say, when it comes to shooting. Because I do think there is a little bit of it too when it comes to actually like shooting at animals, where you got to have a little bit of ice in your veins.
Oh yeah.
But I think that comes with time and just like numbers of animals that you've harvested. I don't think like, I mean, there's some people that step up and they're just cold blooded hunters, from the
Yeah.
beginning. But no, I think everything that you said, I couldn't agree with it more. There's just a lot of aspects when it comes to just personal life and dedicating
Mm-hmm.
dedicating time to it and getting out there and just doing it. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a good point to hit on is that elevated heart rate piece
Hmm.
is huge. And yeah, it's probably like you said, a little maybe down the advanced slope of archery, but it's a key piece because when you're pulling, even if you're shooting just target archery, like
Yep.
your heart rate's going to go up because your stress levels up.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
So
Yeah.
times that by, 100 when you're drawing back on a whitetail buck or muley, and that's what it
Yeah.
is. So it's like when you can just knock out those reps, all summer long, all year long, when it comes time to do it, mistakes are going
Well,
to happen. There's going to
yeah.
be wind, there's going to be a bug that, a mosquito bites you on the nose, whatever, some random stuff, but if you can eliminate whatever, 80-90% of the human error, the rest is, you can account for wind, you can account for whatever, and
Yeah.
make the cleanest and most precise shot you can possibly do. And that's what it's all about. And not to like sit on a pedestal, but that kind of is a part of archery that drives me nuts, is the people that just dust the dust the bow off a week before season, and it's
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yep.
I hate wounded animals, and it happens. It's part of the sport,
Yep.
and even the best of the best it still happens to them. But when you're able to mitigate those factors and make it happen 80 to 90% less than the average guy out there, then I think you owe it to the animal you're
Yeah.
chasing.
Well, I think that's one key thing going into a hunt, especially like, I keep comparing it to just going out west, west
Yeah,
chasing
oh,
muleys,
absolutely.
west chasing muleys, just because that's my experience. I've done it for
Yep.
10 years now. And it's, it's, uh, it's one thing of, I love having in my back pocket is confidence
Oh
of,
yeah.
of knowing like when I've got a deer that's quartering away at 55 yards at like a 45-degree slope, that I'm gonna punch that shot, I'm gonna get that deer, rather
Mm-hmm.
than saying, I mean, it looks really far away, I don't know if I can make the shot, because
Yeah.
your opportunities are few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
But it happens to the best of us. I've missed plenty of times, and I've
Yeah.
practiced for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Right.
Um, but I would rather have that moment of where I'm not second guessing myself, and I have a clear mind and a clear conscience of where all I have to do is pull the shot, break it, and there.
Yeah.
So no, that's really good.
No, absolutely. And then obviously, kind of rolling off of just bow hunting, but I think the other piece is important is like we said earlier, just is your body, and because that's where it
Hmm.
all stems from. And I think for me a key piece is just repetitions. Like anything, you almost have to like look at it as, well, this is what's been the doctor prescribed, and that's what I have to do, and that's just what it is. These are the my um there's no wiggle room. There's no negotiations. This is I got to get my 4 to 5 workouts in a week, mix in a few couple runs, and get her done. Because it's just like we've said it. I mean, that's just going to make you whether you're just like when we were just out in South Dakota chasing Merriam's. I mean, we were in, it's a lot different hunting than it is here. You're
Yeah,
you're climbing damn near mountains to get up at these mountain birds, and it's kind of crazy, but it's like you got to be able to do it. And I think a key piece to that for me is just doing running, and I absolutely despised running up until 2020. Like,
sure.
if someone would have said, "Hey, let's go for a run," I'd been like, "Get out of here! Not, I don't have time for that. I don't have any desire." And so I
That's
was
me.
like, "Yeah." And actually, as like 20, with COVID year, it was like, well, all the geniuses in office decided to close all the gyms, which leave it at that. But what are you supposed to do? It's like,
Yeah,
well,
right.
you're getting all these people that can't work out, can't do this, can't do that, and so it's like, what am I going to do? So it's like I started reading David Goggins' "Can't Hurt Me" book for the
Hmm.
first time, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to run a half a marathon, and did that. Sucked, got through it, and now it's like every year since then, I've tried to do some sort of run or something to challenge myself, just to be like, you know what? Yeah, this you hate doing, and that's what I said earlier. It's like, do hard things, do things that make you uncomfortable,
Yep.
because in the long run, it's going to make you just better off. So it's like last October we did a 50K trail run, and that was hell, but we got through it, and
Hmm.
now it's like, what's next? And so it's fun. I like doing it. I should say I like doing it, because it's
Oh,
like I
you
said,
like doing it now?
I don't know. I do once you're, I don't know, like for me, like yesterday, like I was telling, I think we were talking about this in South Dakota. For me, it's like, if I'm gonna run, I need to do, like, I feel like those first 2 to 4 miles are the absolute worst,
Yeah.
because you're shaking the rust out, you're getting your legs loose, you're everything, and you're kind of like, whatever. But it's like, once you kind of hit that, you kind of just go, and
Yep.
you're in it, and you kind of get through it. But and then you kind of get to the, obviously, if it's a long one, you kind of get this last
Yeah.
handful, and you're like, back to where we started. But no, I mean, for me, it's like, I think, just like I said, do hard things. There's so many benefits that come, not only just for what we're talking about with hunting, but I mean, just mentally and physically and emotionally. I mean, there's so many good things. Like, when you get done with a good hard workout, there ain't much you're worrying about, other than
Nope.
maybe go get some water, or protein drink or something, because it's like, all that stress. Like I said, if I don't get my four workouts in a week, I am a knotted stress ball. And like I said, my wife would attest to it, and where it's like, if she can tell if I don't get it in, and same with her, if she doesn't get her stuff in. It's like, you can tell, because it's like, you just kind of, you need that release from the day-to-day minutia
Yep.
of just BS.
No, that's I couldn't agree more. And
Mm-hmm.
the one thing for me, of where, and you said it a little bit earlier too, and not comparing ourselves to dogs, but like from the training aspect, like I feel like as we've aged now, and we're not. I mean, like, we're young. We're not old by no means. I think anybody that's under the age of like 60 is considered young in my book. But like I look at it. I look at it for myself, of where if I don't go work out, and like I said, I'm not a big runner. I should definitely probably. I've talked about it for years. I should get into it because I feel like I would be a decent runner. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I could go walk like 30 miles and be fine.
Yep.
But it's just the fact of knowing I have to like pick up my pace, and then I just feel like this is dumb. But I just
Mm.
got to do it. But
Yep.
for me though, it's like I just gotta beat the excuses out of me. Um, to
Yep.
where like if I don't get up and go work out, like I just feel so much better when I finally get done with the workout, even if it's just a little one. Like for the example, like
Mm-hmm.
this week has been wild. Like I started lifting last week. Excuse me, got back into working out last Monday. It was my first day, and then getting back into it. And this week's been a wildfire. Both the girls are sick, and we were traveling a
Mm-hmm.
lot for a wedding and stuff this weekend. It's like, all right, so I've got a window of about an hour and a half today. It's like I probably don't
Mm-hmm.
have enough time to go to the gym to get there and back
Right.
and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, well, and I actually started doing this. This is Cam Hanes' son's like home prison workout that he does. It's like 20, what does he do? He does 4 sets of 25 push-ups. He does 4 sets of 10 pull-ups. He does, I think it was knee ups or leg ups on the pull up bar. He does 4 sets of 20 of them, and then there's something else that he does. And I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
start doing that. It's just like I have a pull up bar in my basement. I know you got a gym at home. It's like you don't even need a pull up bar. You could go do dips in the stairs. You could go do dips on 2 kitchen tables. You could go do push ups on the floor. You can do a full workout. So it's like there's so many. We're so accustomed, I think, to making excuses of like, I don't have time, I can't do this, or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is, to where it's like you just got to beat that senseless self out of yourself and just go
Yeah.
do it. But,
Yeah.
for me, like going through high school and, I was a collegiate athlete and stuff. And like, training's been a huge part of my life all the way since I was just a kid. And I got to a certain point when I was probably like 25 or 24, whenever I just got done with college. And I was like, screw this. I'm not going to work out anymore. I'm going to take a break. I'm sick of getting told what to do and just dumb because I wasted probably like 18 years of gains away. And I looked at myself about 2.5 years ago and I was fat. And I've never been fat before in my life. And I'm like, what the hell is going on, man? And like,
Yeah.
it's had a little bit of a change of pace in life. And, like you said, it's hard once you get a family going and just with trying to make time for things, and you just got to eliminate the excuses and get out and go do it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
it's been a blessing to being able to get back into really a good routine of working out for the last probably year and a half here now. And my question though for you though is like, what is your split, or like what is the workout plan that you're doing for like in regards to like lifting right now, maybe with like a running combo or whatever it is, just so
Mm-hmm.
people know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty like not, I guess, basic, but it's Monday I do chest, tri, shoulders. Tuesday is back and biceps, and then Wednesday I do some sort of leg workout. And then Thursday just repeat Monday and Tuesday. Thursday, Friday is
Yeah.
so nothing crazy. You could find any workout out on the internet.
Oh yeah.
I was like mixing in some Mountain Tough stuff because that is
Okay.
an absolute ass kicker. I don't care how
I've
fit you
never
are.
done it.
I don't care how fit you are. You are gonna sweat. You're gonna hate it, but when you're done, you're gonna feel great. So
Hmm.
what they got going on is good.
That's an app, isn't
Um,
it?
yep, yep.
Okay.
Fitbod is another app. It's free to use. You can't like log your workouts, but that's a good one for anyone that's just getting into it to just figure out what workouts I should do. You can just hit what target areas you're doing, and
Hmm.
it spits out an entire workout for you. I mean, and then to hell, just use ChatGPT. I mean, seriously, I tried it. I mean, it gave me a pretty decent workout.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there's the excuse should never be I can't find a good workout because there's a billion of them out there. You just got to go
Well, I
hit the
just think
old
we're so
Google and
accustomed today in like today's culture, comparing ourselves to like where we were forced to be doing, not forced, but like going back a couple of generations of manual labor of where now it's
mm,
just everything. So, I mean, like we're both blessed. We both work from home and for the most
mm-hmm.
part, and we've got it pretty good. But then it's like, it's also hard to get motivating where it's like, okay, I got to go do stuff. I got to like get off my ass and like actually go move.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, there was a when I was working out at the gym here in town. Now I've kind of slowly started to build my own home gym. So,
Nice.
but there was a guy that was always there every morning, Steve, and I think he's moved out of town now. But older guy, and it was funny. I always talked to him about you know the news and all that fun stuff. And he was a character. And but no, one thing that he said to me, and actually he told my wife it too, is like you not, selfishly, you have to like look at yourself as being not the most important, but up there, right? Like where
Hmm.
you have to like make time for yourself, because not only is it going to make you feel good, but you're going to feel good across the board. You're going to be a better father, better
Yep.
husband, better wife, better everything. And so it's like you got to, I think for anyone, that's, you got to just remember that, like, yeah, you're working out to better yourself, but you're also bettering everybody around you in
Yeah.
your circle, because you're not,
1,000%.
yeah, you're not going to be the, cranky and stressed out one. You're not going to be you're not going to be the guy sitting at the bottom of the hill saying, "All right, kids, sorry, Dad can't make it up that one. You guys gonna have to go by yourself." But like nobody wants to
Yeah.
be that guy, right?
Yeah.
But I'd say there's probably more out there than not, where you just need to kind of suck it up, get it in, get it done, and move on. Like you said, it doesn't need to be some grand hour and a half
No.
workout every single day. Some days you're only gonna get 20 minutes. Well, guess what?
Something.
Do a bunch of burpees, some push-ups, some sit-ups, pull-ups, whatever. Get it in, get it
You can
done,
get a
and be
crazy workout in 15 minutes. You'd be blown away.
100%. Yep. Yeah. Do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 whatever. Just get something in, get it done, get that heart rate up, because it's just, it's gonna help you. It's gonna help your family down the road, and I think that's just a key piece for
Well,
for
you said
myself.
you said it. This is kind of funny. This is a little side subject, but like I think it is funny though when you get into a routine of working out at a gym at a certain time, and you're probably similar to me where when I go to a gym, and I think maybe that's why I appreciated the gym that you and I both used to work out at in Rochester, because it was like a dungeon.
Yeah.
I can't remember what gym that was, but it was like there was
Northgate.
Northgate. There was nobody there. It was just shit machines,
Yeah.
but it's like it was just like you and I and like
Hot,
Resner.
smuggy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's only a couple of people there, and you just got your workout in and you got out. And like
Mm-hmm.
I look at it like no, we have a really nice gym here in Baxter called Takedown, which is it's awesome. But if you don't go at certain times, it's an absolute zoo of
Zoo.
high school and
Terrible.
college kids and etc.
I know.
But
Yep.
it's funny though when you start going at a certain time and you see the same people every day, and
Mm-hmm.
like you get accustomed to give them a head nod or whatever it is, but you're kind of doing your own thing, and then
Yep.
maybe every once in a while you'll actually start building a relationship with somebody and you start talking to
Oh
them,
yeah.
and then like I think it's funny for me, like I had to take a month off because my arm, I couldn't even move my arm. So and I'm like, I'm assuming that these people when they first saw me, they thought I probably died because I was gone for a month. you know it's like, what the hell
Yeah.
happened to this guy? But at the
Yeah.
same time too, it's funny for me, like where you can like for me my routine is I'll get in the truck because it's only about 4 minutes from my house. I get in the truck, take my pre-workout. By the time I'm about getting my shoes on at the gym, I'm like locked and ready. I'm going to go do some mobility stuff and then go.
Mm-hmm.
If someone talks to me within that first 30 minutes of like trying to get into a
Oh
workout,
yeah.
it just it ruins it. It's just like it's done. It's
I'm the
like
same way. Yeah.
uh
Yeah. No, it's so true. It's like, and I don't want to be the old codger at the gym that just sits in the corner and
mhm.
frowns at everybody. But it's like sometimes it's like, hey, I gotta go. I have an hour to get this workout in, and I've been sitting
Yes.
here talking to you for 20 minutes. Like I gotta go. But and that's not the reason I went the home gym route. But I just was tired of.
Well, the home gym's nice. Like we had one back at
Mm-hmm.
my. I was lucky enough in high school to have our home gym at the farm, and then Eric built a new one now in the shed, and they're nice to have. I mean, it's nice
Yeah.
to be able to know that you can literally at any time go work out, and it's
Mm-hmm.
free 99 outside of the cost of building it.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, like Jen and I sat and did the math. With for both of us to have a gym membership, I don't remember the specific dollars, but it ended up being in about 6 months you paid for it.
Oh, for sure.
6 to 9
Yep.
months you paid for the gym that you just built. And we don't have everything yet. There's 2, 3 pieces yet. I want to get some more um, dumbbell stuff and whatever, but you could do it. It's not that bad. The
Nope.
upfront is a little costly, but if you just set
Yep.
some money away each month and yeah, like I said, that it's going to pay off that gym membership in 6 to 12 months, depending on how crazy you get with your setup. But
Yeah,
you know,
we're in the process of building one down in our mudroom right now,
mm,
where we have the spare fridge down there. We're gonna build one down there, and like you said, it's just piece by piece. You kind of and like as I look at it for both you and I, and we're in our 30s now, and
yeah,
I know what I need to have for equipment to get a good
yep,
workout in, and like I'm in a position in my life where I want to get bigger and stronger, etc. But like, I just want to be able to maintain and be healthy. So it's like I don't
yeah,
need everything underneath the sun for equipment. Like I need like a fold away squat rack, bench
mm-hmm.
rack that I can do, a couple of free weights, and that's it. I love doing a bunch of calisthenics slash like mobility stuff. So for me, as long as I got a pull up bar, like I could do just virtually about anything.
Yeah, and that's where I would say if anyone's looking at doing the home gym route, get a cage.
Yeah,
Like the one we have. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the brand is, but it's got obviously you can do the squat rack, bench, barbell, and
they're
then
pretty
it's got
affordable too.
yeah, and it's got the back pulley system, so you can do lat pulls, you can
Yep.
do chain rows, you can do pretty much everything, and then it's got attachments where you can do dips, you can do what else is there? There's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, it kind of came with everything you could probably think about needing. So, and then like I've actually, because like just going off of our South Dakota trip, like physically great, good. The only thing that ever really hurt were my knees, and so I've started. And I used to do it like religiously every single morning. I would do, and it's the shout out to the knees over toes guy.
Oh yeah.
If
Yep.
if you guys haven't, if anyone hasn't, got any sort of knee pain,
Yes.
whatever, leg, back, everything, check him out. He's got everything on YouTube is 100% free, which is amazing that he does that. But the one thing I really try to implement is the reversing out knee pain, where you take like you could take like a put, like a sled that you push or pull, and you just walk backwards, and you kind
Yep.
of squat a little bit, so you keep that bend in the knees. And don't take my advice. Go watch his videos because I am you know, not as a coach or whatever. But when I start doing that, like I was doing that, like I said, almost 10 minutes straight. Nothing. You're not doing crazy high weight. Just
Hmm.
like now I actually just do it in the backyard. I throw a punching bag in a ice fishing sled,
Oh,
and
nice.
then either throw some weight plates in there or have one of the boys sit on the punching
Yep.
bag and just do that for 10 minutes. And I'll tell you what, it sucks, but you can definitely tell a difference. Like when I was doing it religiously, I had zero knee pain. I haven't been doing it for a minute, so that's back on my list of workouts I do each week because it's a game changer. And anyone that
Well,
does it and talks about
for
it will
sure.
say the same.
Well, I mean, looking at it like, when we were in our early 20s, I mean, you could
Right.
just get up and
You do
go.
whatever. Yeah.
And
There's
I
no
look at it,
there's no dust or rust to shake
no.
out.
And I look at it now, like being in, our early 30s, like there's some things that are starting to creep up. And I just remember like my dad, like all of a sudden he hit like 37. And I look at, like my brother-in-laws are just about to get there in age, and then some other friends and family that we have, and it's just like, man, once you start creeping up to 40, it's like there's things that start hurting that never hurted, and they
Yeah.
are naggy, and like there's things that you can do to, like you were just talking about, where you can just take time to do little things that are going to
Yep.
only make your body better and more well fit for it. And like obviously this stuff takes time to
Mm-hmm.
remedy and to cure, but like if you're consistent and you build a routine around this type of stuff, like you can build an absolute powerhouse of a body that's going to move
Mm-hmm.
you and keep you. Like I give shout out to Ron, my father-in-law. I mean, that man, he's going to shout. He's retiring here this week, so congratulations to him. But
Congrats, Ron.
yeah, he's a fitness machine. I mean, the man's so just in tune with his body and just in good shape. And it's just like I strive to be like that when I'm at his age. And
Mm-hmm.
my question for you is that what advice would you give to someone who's obviously, just say they're just tuning into this episode for the first time. They have zero experience with the shooting habit. They have zero experience with like physical training, like what would be your advice for them to get into this, to start building those good habits and routines?
Ugh, that's a good one. For the shooting thing, I would go to your local archery shop and just get to be friends with the whoever's working. You know, don't be afraid to ask a million and one questions because everyone at one point in their life was there, and it's hard. You know, I sometimes sit there in the shop or whatever and don't want to ask the what I think is a stupid question, but I think the only stupid question is the one that's not asked. You know, so those people are working at that job because they love to do
Yep.
archery. They love to work in a gun shop. They love to do it. So they they want to talk shop. So when you come in there having questions or hey, I want to get into just be open, just ask a million questions, tell them what you like, what you don't like. And if you're completely new to it, join a league or take classes, whatever it is. Um, because like I said, it's just that repetition and finally and eventually it's like you're just doing it so often that it's like you kind of just become second nature, and that's kind of where it rolls into the working out piece where it's like you don't want to I don't think you want to go 100% balls to the walls right off the bat for
Yeah.
working out because you're going to get hurt, you're going to get injured, and that's just going to continually set you back. But I think there is a little bit of conquering. I mean, it's stealing a little bit from Joe Rogan here, but conquering that inner bitch. You got to kind of
It's true
well,
though.
it's true, but because you got to like and all those guys, him, Goggins, Cam Haynes, they're you listen to them talking, it's like there's a lot of times, more times than not, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna talk yourself out of working out. Oh, I got this, and this, and I'll do it later. Well, then later comes and the kids need this and this, and then it's 10 o'clock at night and you didn't get your workout in, and then
Yep.
it's 2 weeks down the road and you still didn't get a work. So it's poop rolls downhill, right?
I agree.
So
That's a good
it's
one. I
just you
haven't heard
gotta
that one.
Yeah. Well, it's snowball,
Yeah.
but it's true though because it's like you got to just be able to get in it. It's like life, man. It's you get setbacks, you get things. You're like, great, I'm off my plan of okay, this was our plan for the next 5 years, and now it's a 7 year plan. Whatever it is, it's the same with working out. I missed out two workouts. Well, guess what? Get those next ones in
Yep.
and just keep getting because eventually, like I said, same with shooting bow. Eventually, it's just a cycle, and it's like
Yep.
these are my non-negotiables, and this is what I'm doing today. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't need to be some crazy hour and a half workout. I think honestly, a lot of people that there's obviously exceptions to the rules, big time
Yeah.
athletes, yada yada yada. But the everyday man, everyday woman that's at the gym for 2 hours, it's like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like you could get in there, get it done in 45 minutes to an hour, like just, and that's me where it's like, I have my mindset on getting the workout in, getting it done and being done, so I think that's again, to try and keep a long answer shorter. It's just do it, you know, it's going to suck. It's going to take time. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to, you know, but in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, you're going to look back at pictures of yourself and be like, "Oh
Oh
boy,
yeah.
I'm glad I started working out because that beer belly sure didn't look great, 3 years ago,
Yep.
and now it's, doesn't need to be washboard abs for summertime, but just you as a person are going to feel exponentially better
Yes.
when you work out, and if you continually build on it and get some sort of routine going, you know, you're gonna that's it. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna look good. You're gonna just feel good, and that's what's number one, I think.
No, that's a great answer, and I truly am a firm believer in good discipline, and not
Mm-hmm.
only for yourself, but yeah, I think it stems from a lot of things. So having a good discipline in your health is not only good for your mental health, it's good for your job, it's good
Oh
for
yeah,
everything.
work
It
ethic,
just
everything.
yeah, it's one of those things that, like you said at the end there, I mean, it takes time to see results. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm still in a journey right now where I'm trying to envision like what I'm gonna feel like and look like in 2 more years, and like what I've
Mm-hmm.
already done in a year or a year and a half is, to me, it's crazy. Like I might be down whatever it was, 20 pounds and put on more muscle, but it might not seem like a lot, but in a year and a half, that's like, it was a crazy transformation for me, it feels like. And it's like, gets me excited and motivated to know like, okay, what am I going to feel like in 2 more years from now?
Yeah.
And it takes time. I think that's the biggest thing is it just takes time and it takes hard work. And I think at the end of the day, once you can get past that first 2.5, 3 week window, it just becomes easy and your body starts like craving that dopamine release. And like,
Mm-hmm.
that's when it gets to be fun because then you have that little, I don't want to say angel, but you have that little you sitting on the shoulder saying like, hey man, got to go get this in, got to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then that thing slowly starts to fade away the farther you get away from like doing that stuff. And
Yeah.
I think that's just a really good place to get to. And you just got to embrace the suck. I mean, we've used that a lot, but that's the
Yep.
embrace the suck and just become a better you because it's only going to make you. I know we've kind of deviated maybe a little bit from the hunting aspect, but all this stuff
It's
is
all
only going to
relative.
it's all going to make you a better hunter, fisherman, whatever it is at the end of the day that you're trying to do. Any outdoor activity, you're going to be able to go
100%.
those extra couple miles on a hike or whatever it might be.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah, I mean like just the turkey hunting we did, it was like, you know, a lot of people wouldn't even want to hike that for a
no,
nice overlook vista, and but we were able to get her done, and it's one of those things too. It's like once you're just in it, you're in it, you're doing it,
yeah,
and then you feel good on the other side. So
that's
no,
right.
yeah, no, I mean I think this was probably this is a good one. I think just for everyone, and then even for ourselves, just to kind of take a pulse check on yourself and on your life, and just say like, all right, whether it's working out, whether it's mental health, whether it's whatever, it's like, okay, things might not be great right now. Things might not be where I want them to be, but I think it's just important to be able to have that now or that mentality
Yeah,
to be able to step back and say, okay, this is and some I think like if you take that step back, say, okay, this isn't what's going right, and then you go pivot and try this thing. Well, that doesn't 100% mean that one thing you just pivoted to is going to make anything better. It could make things worse.
for
But you're
sure.
trying new things, you're trying hard things, where you just keep working at it. And I think once and like anything, you put the work in, you're going to see the results. So it's like you just keep gnawing and biting and scratching your way up to where you want to get to, and it'll come. It's just having faith in the good Lord above is that He'll just continue to. We've talked about it and about this before, but He's the hand that's on your back to push you forward, and
Hmm.
He's also the two hands to catch you when you fall. So He's gonna be there for you. Just and that's a key piece too, is just praying and talking with the Lord and doing daily reflections and stuff, and just say like, shit, man, I need you. Like, give me the strength to get up to the top of this hill and maybe
Yep,
get this turkey. That's what I was
yep,
doing. I'm like,
yep,
God, I just took a knee. I'm like, God, get me, 200 more yards up this hill, and if you give me the strength to get up there, I'll be sure to praise you every,
yep.
for everything you give me. And I think that's just a key piece for me too.
Well, and I think, I mean, we'll wrap it up here, but I think
Yeah.
too, with the whole working out thing and just embracing the stuck, and I think there's moments of like physical exhaustion of where it breaks us down enough mentally where our mind is so clear that we see the bigger picture of things that maybe we couldn't see because we are so focused on other things. So like that's where like for me a lot of times I find some of my best praying is when I get done with the workout or I just got
Hmm.
done doing something completely like physically draining to where my mind is just like empty and like I can only think of like the most important things possible. And that's where sometimes I just feel the closest to him when I get done doing something like that, where it's just like you just give all the glory back to him and just be thankful for that moment. And man, God is good, dude.
Yeah. Amen to that. I think a good one to close it out on is Psalm 18:32. It is God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure. He's going to give you the
Going,
strength. He's going to protect you, and you just got to rely on it and have some wild faith that he's going to
that's right.
protect you and keep you going. So I think, like you said, that's a good one to close it in on. Of course, we just want to thank everyone for listening. I hope everyone had a blessed, Memorial Day with their families. And again, there's a reason behind the season.
That's right.
There's a lot of men and women who died for this country and paid with their blood, sweat, and tears for us to be able to travel up to Duluth or go to weddings and just be able to have the freedom that we so love and are appreciative of. So anyone listening in, that served or is serving, we absolutely thank you for your service. And
thank you.
Close out on that one.
Close it out with the prayer, and we'll let everybody enjoy their Memorial Day weekend. So,
amen.
All right. Take a moment to catch yourselves here and just focus. And dear Lord, thank you so much for just all the blessings that you've given us in our lives. And we're just incredibly thankful for all the men and the women that have served our country and have given us our freedom. And, for those that are with us and the ones that are not with us today, we just give thanks to them. And we just pray that you watch over them and their families. And we say a special prayer too, that you continue to keep sharpening us as tools, and you just help us continue to strive to be better for ourselves, and not only for ourselves but for our families, and that you can strengthen our minds and our bodies, and help us to continue to keep being in better shape and being in fit. And we know it just keeps us closer to you, dear Lord, and we're so thankful for everything that you've given us and for all the opportunities. And we just say a special prayer for all those people that are traveling this weekend, that you give them safe travel. And we're just incredibly thankful and give all the glory to you, dear Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Good stuff.
Fun one. This is a good one. This is gonna motivate me now to get out and go work out here before we leave. So
get it in.
That's right. Gotta carry the boat.
Yeah, them boats ain't gonna carry themselves, man.
Well, fun. Well, guys, this is a fun episode. And once again, like Lou said, thank you so much to everyone that has served. And, maybe we'll do a separate podcast highlighting some aspects of that. But thank you to everyone that's served and has served. And, we just internally grateful for all the family and friends that have. And just, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing today without you guys. So thank you for that. And like, once again, this is kick off the summer, man. It's crazy that we're already here, and we appreciate everybody once again who's been along for the journey here, and slowly but surely we're growing. So it's fun to see that uptick in some views, and we're just grateful for all of you guys that listen in, and we appreciate each and every one of you.
Amen. Thank you.
Well, sweet. Well, until next week.
Peace out. Thank you for joining us on this journey through faith in the great outdoors. We hope today's episode has inspired you to seek God's presence in the wilderness and deepen your connection with nature. If you enjoyed today's discussion, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Wild Faith Podcast on your favorite platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. By subscribing, you'll never miss an episode, and you'll continue to be a part of the Wild Faith Podcast community. We'd also love to hear from our listeners, so please don't hesitate to reach out with your questions, comments, or topic suggestions. You can connect with us on social media or through our website. Your feedback is important to us and helps us improve and tailor our content to better serve you. And always remember, the great outdoors isn't just a playground for hunting and fishing. It's a sanctuary for finding solace and spiritual renewal. As you gear up for that next adventure, I pray you find God's presence in the crackling of a campfire, the thrill of reeling in your catch, or the quiet solitude found in nature. Until next time, thank you for listening to the Wild Faith Podcast. Take care, and God bless.